Let's get to the market action now with Dan Deming at KKM Financial. Dan, the last time you were on the show, you mentioned money sitting on the sidelines that could come into the stock market. What are you seeing with money flows?
Yeah, Angie, when you look at the market action, even though volatility has gone to, basically some of the lowest levels of the year, with the market continuing to maintain the upper level, but not able to significantly break through the July highs at this point for the S&P. Overall, though, you are seeing, it appears that money flows are going into areas that are perceived as undervalued, and particularly when you look at the Russell catching a significant bid here as we close out the year, and also other areas of the market that have underperformed year to date. So you are seeing a rotation taking place here, Angie, to some degree. Certainly the Magnificent Seven, as a lot of people like to refer to them, continue to hold up here as well, but they've lost some of the significant momentum that they had attained earlier in this year. So I think the one thing that I'm looking at as we move towards the end of the year is this continued rotation in areas that are perceived to be undervalued. Also, the fact of the matter is that we're seeing rates coming down, and it does appear that if we move to 2024, if the dynamics continue to stay in place, that we're going to continue to see money flows into the equity markets.
The jobs report was solid. Consumer sentiment is looking better. What do you think about the latest economic news, and what are you watching for this week?
Overall, I think, the news has been fairly positive, or if not even better than most people expected, particularly on the inflation front, Angie. And now that we're seeing a little bit of a slowing in the jobs data is another positive that we did receive last week. Now, this week, I think the one thing the market's going to be very focused on, of course, is the Fed announcement. But also, don't forget that the ECB and the Bank of England announced policy this week as well. And from a global perspective, I think that's very significant, because we are seeing other parts of the globe now peaking as far as interest rates, and moving forward. That's a dynamic that if we see some of the economic structure start to significantly roll off into 2024, that could create some unevenness in the markets, as the expectations are that we're going to see a slowing in economic activity, particularly if the central banks start to indicate that they're seeing that as well.
Thank you, Dan.
All right. Thanks, Angie. Thanks for having me.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.